Hello friend, good evening. Welcome once again. Today we will solve one hypothesis testing problem using the p-value method and the critical value method. And I hope after watching this full video there will not be any confusion in these two methods. We will understand step by step, and also we will understand what is going as per the normally distributed this graph. Okay, so let's start the problem directly. I'm not covering the theory part. Theory part I will all cover in the question only. So separately I am not explaining the theory. Okay, so let's start the problem. So we have the sample of the 40 new balls. So n is equal to 40. We have bounce height mean. So this is associated with the sample mean. So this will be the x bar equal to 92.67. We have given then standard deviation 1.79. We have given alpha 0.05, and we have given the population mean mu equal to 92.84. So in case this alpha is not given, then you can take it as 0.05, that is the industry acceptance. And in case it also can be given as the confidence interval. If confidence interval is given 95%, that also mean that alpha is 0.05. This is the same thing. Also one more thing, when we have to use the G table and the T table. I am not covering the T table part here, but I will just explain. When we use, in case sample is less than 30 and we have not given this the standard deviation, then we have to use the T table. But in this case we will use the G table. So first understand this graph. This is the normally distributed graph like this. Okay, so this is we call rejection region. In case it is the two-tail test, I will also explain when we have to do two-tail test and we have to do one tail, that is right or left. Okay, so this is called the rejection region, and this is called the acceptance region. Okay, so first we will do the formulating the step number 1, that is the formulation of the hypothesis test. So formulation of hypothesis. So whenever you see this, that the statement is given mean is different from, okay, so that means it's equal to not equal to that 92.84, that is our alternate, and null will be opposite of this, so it will be equal to 92.84. So there are the 2-3 things that first, whenever you are formulating the null and alternate hypothesis, then it will be from the population mean only. It will not be from the sample mean. Okay, and other thing, you see that that null is the status quo, means this is the thing where the whole world is believe that this is the mean is the 92.84, and this is what I believe, and if we have support evidence, then we have to accept this, or we have to fail to reject or reject this null hypothesis. So basically from our experiment there will be two conclusion: either we reject null or fail to reject null. And also if you see if there is not equal to sign, it will be two-tail test, and if this is the less than or equal to sign here in the alternate hypothesis, then it will be the left or right tail test. So this is called left tail test and this is called right tail test. Okay, so where this arrow is pointing, this point is pointing, this is pointing towards left, so this will be the left tail test, and this will be the right tail test. Okay, so and also I will again tell you the concept also, why we do the left tail test and why we do the right tail test. So our number 1 step is completed, that we have done the hypothesis, null and alternate hypothesis, and we have decided which tail test is required. So in this case it will be the two-tail test. Okay, so either we use critical value method or p-value method. Our step number 1 will be the same. So here we will use the critical value method. Okay, so what the mean of the two-tail test? That it will be the two-tail, left and right. So our alpha is given 0.05. So it will be divided into the two region, that is 0.025 and 0.025. Okay, so and what will be value of this? This will be acceptance region is will be 0.95. So here we can write 0.025 and here it will be 0.95 plus 0.025 is equal to 0.975. So this will be our acceptance region from 0.025 to 0.975. Okay, one thing you have to remember that when we see the jet table, it will always give the area from the left. So whatever value you are giving, suppose we have given 0.975, so we are calculating this area. So this you have to remember. So okay, so we will see the step number 2. Okay, so now we will calculate the area under the curve using the z value. So I've told you that the area we take from the left. So this is the 0.975. So we will just see our z table, and it is 0.975. So it will be okay. So from graph only we can see that this will be positive one. This is the more than 1. So no need to see in the negative column. You can directly check the positive column. So here we can see 0.975. So this is 0.975. So corresponding the G value, this is the G value this side and the horizontal and vertical. So from 975 we will see 1.9 here and 6 here. So it will be 1.96. So we have seen the Z value equal to 1.96. So what does it mean? That this is 1.96 and this side also it will be 1.96. It will be same. If you want to check, as I told you that it will be the area from the left. So it it is 0.025. So if you want, you can check also. This will become 1.96. So we'll go again to the Z table and we'll see corresponding to the 0.025. So we'll see 0.025 will be, so here it is 0.025. It is 1.9 and 6 minus 1.96. Okay, so we have got the two value 1.96 and 1.96. So we use the confidence interval is equal to our mu plus minus G and sigma divided by root n. So this we know that our mu is 92.84 plus minus 1.96 and sigma is 1.79 and this is divided by root 40. So when you calculate, you will get the value 92.286 and 93.394. So if we see into the graph, it will be here 92.286 and 93.394 and our sample mean is given 92.67. So 92.67 will be somewhere here. So this will be 92.67. So this is coming in the acceptance region. So we will fail to reject. Okay, that's okay. But we will again see this step number 2 from where it's coming and can be do with the different method. Okay, so we will see the step number 2 again. We know the formula, critical value formula, that we into the graph that these are the critical value. So critical value formula is x bar minus sample population mean divided by sigma divided by root n. This we have to use in the p value method also. Okay, and we can use here also. So here we can see we have taken this formula. We have taken x bar and we multiplied this into sigma equal to zc into sigma divided by root n and plus mu. So z value we have seen the z value will be plus minus. It will be in the two-tailed test. It will be minus and plus. So this critical value sample mean will be two value, that will be mu plus minus zc sigma divided by root n. That's what we did in the upper method, but we will use this method and we calculate again the critical value. Okay, so we know this formula, z critical equal to x bar minus mu naught divided by sigma divided by under root n. So this is our 92.67 minus 92.84 divided by 1.79 divided by root 40. So when you solve this, you will get around 0.602. Okay, so what does it mean? That if you see this is the critical value which we have find out from the G score 1.96 and minus 1.96. So this critical value is 0.6. So 0.6 will be come somewhere here, because in between it will be the suppose this is 0, so then negative will be minus 0.6 will come first, then it will come 0.96. So this is coming into the critical value is coming the acceptance region. So we are failed to reject null. Okay, now we will see the p-value method of the same problem, and p-value there are people confuse more, so we will again understand from the curve, you will find this is very easy. Okay, so to save some time, I will start from here. We already know the data, n equal to 40, x bar is 92.67 and standard deviation 1.97, and alpha and population mean is given this. So what is the and also we have completed the step number 1, that we have formed the hypothesis and we have found out also that it is a two-tailed test. So second step is very important, because here it's confusion what we have to see the value and how do we see the value of the from the z table, because we do the minus sign sometimes problem with the minus sign. So okay, so you see z critical equal to x bar minus mu divided by sigma divided by root n. We have calculated above. We will put the value this is 92.67 minus 92.84 divided by sigma is 1.79 divided by under root 40. So if you calculate, you will get minus 0.6. So you will get 0.6, and this is the negative value. Okay, so no need to remember anything, just remember this formula. And we also know the concept that area always give the from the left. Also I will show you one interesting thing, that when you get the negative value, what does it mean. Okay, so here is very interesting thing. Suppose you did mistake this minus 0.6, but your concepts are clear that which area we are getting. So suppose in case we go to the z table, and if you see here that in case this is value is negative, then value start from 0.5 and goes up to the 0.0. 0.5 means it's the middle line. When then it will be the 0, and when it's 4.99 4.09, then it will be the 000. Okay, and if we see the z value positive, then you see the area starts from the 0.5 and goes to up to 0.999. Okay, so suppose you have done mistake in the negative sign. So you see, I mean to say that when z is negative, then area is between, this is the middle point suppose, and area is coming from this side. Okay, and when the z is positive, so you are getting area from the this side, but all the area will start from the here, from the left edge area will start here. So suppose we have seen that it is 0. Minus negative 0.6. Okay, so now we have got the minus 0.6. so now we have the z value, and we have to take the correspondence. We have the area and we have to, so we will see this is minus 0.6 and this is 0, so this will be 0.27425. and also we will see the area if in case we have made mistake, so we take for positive value also, and there will not be any difference, because if your concepts are clear, it will not make any difference. I will show you. So I will write here with the minus 0.6, it is 0.2745, and with the positive 6 it is 7257. 7257. This is, I think, 5. Okay, so this is, I've checked this 0. So I will write again. 0.06 is 0.274, and plus 0.6, it is 0.7257. Okay, now again we will understand what is this value means. So I've told you this normally distributed curve, and we get the area from the left. So suppose for minus 0.6, so suppose this is the middle point, so this will be 0.274, will be somewhere here. Okay, so it is 0.274, and this area full is 0.7257. So suppose if, so anyone we have to take, answer will be the same. So in case we have taken the positive value, we did mistake above, we change the sign and we take the positive value, so it doesn't matter, because this area we know, we will take this. Okay, so I will just change color. So this area we know, and this we have to find out. So whole area is 1, so 1 minus 0.7257, so it will be 0.2743, 0.2743. And we have got here also, we see if we were taken the negative value, it is coming the same, 0.2743. Okay, so actually rejection area is coming 0.2743. And also you know this is alpha y2, because in the two-tailed test it is divided into the alpha is divided into the 2, so it is 0.025. So anyway, if you want, you can do, because this is 0.2743 and this is 0.27, so either you can do 2p and compare with alpha, or p you can compare with alpha. Okay, this, sorry, with alpha y2, because this is the p, and you can compare it with the alpha y2. So this is the same thing. So I hope you have understood what is the p here and what is the alpha, how the area is taken, and how we are calculating. So now we are ready for the final conclusion. So we'll do the final conclusion, that we have seen this p is 0.2743 and our alpha value was 0.025. So this is very less, so it will come here, and our p value is coming, means this is the subset of this. So this means p value is coming into the acceptance region. Our rejection region is very less with compared to the p value. Okay, so what that is mean, we failed to reject null hypothesis. Okay, so it's very simple. Instead of just memorizing p is less than alpha, what will happen, or p is greater than alpha, what will happen, if your concepts are clear, you can see what is the acceptance region and what is the rejection region. According to that, if acceptance region is our good, then we obviously we cannot reject, we fail to reject, and our acceptance region is very low, then we will reject. So whichever is greater, we will go accordingly to that. As we know, alpha is the rejection region. Okay, so if this is low, we cannot reject, fail to reject, and if this is greater, then we will reject. And also for simplicity, for faster calculation, you can remember, if p is less than alpha, then we will reject null, and p is greater than alpha, then we will fail to reject. Okay, so quickly we will do one more problem, and this is with the lower test. lower tail test, and after that I will summarize the good interesting point by which you will never do any kind of the mistake. So again, here you will see n equal to 40 and x bar equal to 92.67, sigma equal to 1.79, and mu is 92.84, and significance level alpha is 0.05. Okay, so first is formulating hypothesis. So you see from the previous question, this line, only this line has been changed, so this is sufficient to formulate the hypothesis. So this is height with mean less than 92.84. so what we believe that HA is mu less than 92.84, and alternate will be, null will be opposite of this, so the mu is greater than or equal to 92.84. so sign is here we have to do less than, so we have to do left tail test, because sign is here, it is, sign is pointing this side, so we have to do left tail test. Okay, so point number 2, we will calculate the g value. So this is, now this is 0.05 alpha, so we will see what will be the g value corresponding this is 0.05. so we'll go here and we see 0.05 is here, 0.3, 0.05 is here, so it is 1.64. okay, so this is g value comes 1.64. so now we will do the critical test, critical value, and you know this is the left side, so it will be the minus only. So we will use the formula mu plus minus z sigma divided by root n. So sigma is 92.84 minus z is 1.64, and this is 1.79 divided by under root 40. So if you calculate this, you will get 92.37. so you see this is 92.37, and we have to see about 92.67. 92.67 will come here, 92.67, which is coming into the acceptance region. So conclusion is we fail to reject. Okay, step number 2 we can. Okay, now we will calculate using the p-value method. So we will use the formula z equal to x bar minus mu divided by sigma divided by root n. So 92.84 minus 92.67 divided by 1.76, sorry 1.79, and it will be under root 40. So we have already calculated above, so it is minus 0.60, and we can see this also 0.6 is 2742. so our p value is 0.2742. so again we will check from the graph that it is coming 0.2742, and our alpha is 0.05. so p is greater than alpha, means p is coming in, p area of the p is coming into the acceptance region, because our alpha rejection region is very low, 0. So we fail to reject null hypothesis. Okay, so now we will just summarize what we are doing actually in both the method. So I just change the color. Okay, so first thing you see, we did the formulate the hypothesis. So this is independent of this everything, only this line is enough to formulate the hypothesis testing, that is 92.84. so 92.84, and we can formulate, so this is not very much required. Also number 2, if we see the tail test, it is based on the hypothesis test. It's also not dependent on the significance level, baseball. This is all to support the evidence to conclude the result what we are formulating in the hypothesis testing. Okay, and number 2, in critical value method, you will see that we have not used this 92.67. We have not used anywhere. We have just taken this and we found out the confidence interval. We have confidence and we have compared this from the 92.67 if it is coming acceptance region or it is coming to the rejection region. So this is also in critical value method. This is also independent. This is only to check that your mean is this is actually correct or not. Also one more thing, that whenever you do this G table, that this side will always come to the negative. This is point greater than 0.5 and this is minus less than 0.5. So this will always come to negative and this side will always come to positive. So I mean that if area is greater than 0.5, then Z value, critical value will be positive, and area is less than 0.5, then critical value will be negative. So this concept will help you to understand in case you make mistake in the minus or plus, then you know about this area. Okay, so I will just plot here again. Okay, so when we take the G value, then this always come positive and this always come negative. This part is equal to this part. So if area is coming 0.5, so it will be this area, and if it is coming minus 0.5, then it will be this area. So in case you have made mistake in the negative and positive sign, then only the area will be the same, only the region will be different. Also the final one more thing, that the area whatever you are getting, it always from the left. Okay, so in case we have to find out the area, this is suppose 0.025 and this is again it will be 1 minus 0.025, it will be 0.975. so if you 975, if you see the area corresponding to this value, you will get area this. If you see area corresponding to this critical value, then you will get area of this. Okay, so I hope you understand the mathematical concept, what's going on, and it will be very helpful to you. We did all this method and only 2 method, but main thing, if concepts are not clear and we do the mistake of the sign, or we are not taking the value corresponding to what we required, then we do the error. And you know there is very significant difference when we compare. So if the small error will change your decision, means it will you will come to some error. Okay, thank you.